Is this thing on? All right, we're finally getting ready to start Jamie's BMW project. It is a 74 BMW 2002. Tell us about it.
Hey, this is a lovely rust bucket.
Yeah, I will say this is in much better condition than my 72 BMW Datsun 240Z. It's really, rust isn't too bad on it. I mean, it's kind of, the color kind of lends to like a rust color.
It just adds a little, variation. But I think like you said, the structural integrity is there. It's in good shape. It's just a little brown.
Yeah, I mean, there's like there is holes in the floor. You know, you can see all the way through. But, you know, for a 70s car, you know, like you really want to make sure all the structural stuff, and the Z, like a lot of the structural stuff wasn't there or was really rotten, but, you know, all of our pickup points for suspension's really good. It's just kind of like superficial stuff, you know, that's kind of rusted out right there. Decorative, yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, this is in much better condition than the Z. We do have, like, you know, someone put floor pans in here at one point, and, you know, we've got, you know, super thick, you know, areas of Bondo, but again, structurally it's good. So, kind of tell me what you kind of envision this car to look like. Maybe not so much technical terms, but like what's your...
So, I've never built a car, I've never worked on cars, this is all new for me. But this is my wheelhouse. Like, it's not a super race car right now, but we're gonna make it really fun. We're gonna make it wider, we're gonna put bigger tires on it, bigger wheels, and
all the grip.
Put in a sweet cage so we're safe.
Yep.
And make it really clean inside, like the Z.
Yep.
I really like the way that looks. It's easy to pay attention to the road when you're in it, and I think like this thing is going to be super slick. I'm really excited about some of the ideas that we have with color and some textures that we're going to do.
Yeah, I think you gravitate towards more of like classic looking cars that aren't so modified.
Yeah. I like street cars, but I like street cars that race. Yeah.
So we're gonna try to use some of her influences. You know, with the Z, like the Z is all carbon fiber. I wanted to keep it like that, but with the BMW, we're gonna paint it mostly. We got a couple of things that we're gonna still keep carbon fiber, but color palette, like I probably wouldn't pick it, but after seeing it, I definitely think it'll work with this car and her style and stuff like that. So I'm excited to kind of let go of the reins a little bit and kind of let her pick some stuff, and also teach you how to, I guess, build a car. All right, so what are we gonna do first today?
Well,
this is day one.
Today's day one. This thing's been sitting here for about, I don't know, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Where do we get it?
Well, we got it from our buddies over at PSI, Precision Sport Industries.
Mm-hmm.
Sean over there is a big supporter of the Z, and he was really interested in helping us to do our next build. So
yep,
he kind of stoked to do a BMW.
We were kicking around like an E30 chassis, but then you know, we really wanted a 2002, and he said, "I've got a 2002. Just come get it." And yeah, so this is our car. It's actually a really nice car. It's like I said, there's some rust holes here and there, but from a car from the 70s, it's pretty good. So yeah, so day one.
Day one. Wow. We're going to basically just clean it out. It's got a lot of interesting items. You know, there's some concrete.
Yeah, there's just asphalt.
Okay.
Pack of cigarettes.
Caution tape. I don't know what kind of a situation this car was in formerly, but just clean it out, get all the dirt and trash out of it, and kind of get a baseline, see where we're at, and then start taking off components that can be reused or you know, given back to use on other builds. Some of these
items are pretty rare, and for a race car, we don't want to cut, you know, rare parts up or, you know, just toss them. So yeah, so step one, get it cleaned up, and then I think yeah, that'll be a pretty good good indication of where we're at as far as rust. I mean, we have some visual stuff we can kind of already see, but that'll probably give us a little deeper in-depth look of the condition of the car. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so this is kind of our official day 2 on the stripping the car.
Yay.
So we pretty much have the interior stripped. We have a couple little things to get to, but now we're going to start on the exterior. So what's your job? What's your first mission?
Taking off door handles.
Yep.
And with the door
just
latches.
all the
Yeah.
Because we want to save those. We're going to make carbon fiber doors for it later on, but those are parts that are like, you got to save those because 8 months from now when we're trying to find them, you got to.
Yeah.
Those would be really hard items to try to source out. So we want to take those off and tuck them away, and so we know where they're at. But other than that, we're really not keeping much. Our keep pile.
It's very small.
Is very small. The car is pretty bad, but it's good. It's perfect for what we want to use it for. So we're gonna go ahead and get started.
We're about to take off some of this hardware on the door, and it's obviously really old. It's been here since the 70s. Probably never been loosened since they factory installed it. So Sean just showed me a really cool trick that you can do with a screwdriver and a wrench. And apparently it fits over this part of the screwdriver so that you can get more leverage to loosen these. So you just pull. There we go. Very nice. And now I can just hand loosen it.
So yeah, that's a trick I learned. Those bolts usually they round out. They're not very friendly, and then next thing you know, you're drilling them out. So yeah, it's a cool little trick. And thanks to our partner Boxo Tools, it makes this really easy to do because they have the little French capability on it. So yeah, it's awesome.
Very cool.
All right, so pick up both sides. Yep, I'll slide it out.
Now we're taking off this trim piece, and Sean just showed me a really cool trick to take rivets off, and it's with this. So you just drill it out. Bam. Oh, it's one with the drill now. Woo! Easy.
So what I was interested in is what does a car look like underneath this trim, because it's probably the first time it's ever been taken off, and structurally looks pretty good. That's a win. So no surprise, car from the 70s, floor's rotten out, so pretty common where people just take sheet metal and kind of fold it over. But the pedal assembly to get it out has these bolts, but they covered it up with this floor pan. So trying to get this out of the way so we can get to those bolts. Good stuff, right? All right. Okay, so having a little bit of flashbacks right now from the Z. And one of the things that was with the Z, it had so much Bondo on it. I mean, the roof on the Z had like almost an inch layer of Bondo on the whole thing, and it was a mess to get it off. But anyways, I saw a little bit of Bondo over here, and so I started picking at it, and this fell out. That's a meaty boy right there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was shoved up in there. There was some on the other side, but yeah, that's what you get when you pay for really cheap body work. They just slap a bunch of body filler in a hole, and it goes in something like that.
Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, it's a hot mess. Oh geez.
It lives there now.
Yeah.
And that's how you take Bondo off.
It was the other way around, but I think it was like it was something.
Oh,
like,
there. Yeah.
yeah
We don't need
oh,
it.
there it is. Yeah.
Just get it out of there. That looks terrible. It's a hot mess.
We'll fix it. What you got there?
It's the ID VIN badge.
Nice. We're gonna keep that.
Yep.
Keep it all kind of patinaed looking on a fresh car.
Yep.
Looks really cool. Sweet. All right, so this is day 3 of our demo process on the 2002. What's our plan for today?
Today, we're taking the engine out.
Yep.
And then we're power washing.
Yeah. So before we start cutting into this thing, we want to make sure we get all loose debris, oil, grease, all that stuff out of the way. And I can't stand working on dirty, greasy cars. So yeah, just make our lives a lot easier if we have something clean to start with. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on pulling our little engine out and transmission. And we're going to leave the suspension underneath the car. That way we can still roll it around and all that good stuff. But pretty much this is going to be kind of our last step to disassembling the car. That's a sweet shirt you're wearing.
Thanks.
Where can you get one of those?
Oh, attackingclockracing.com.
Let's see the back of it. That's the blueprint of the Z. I'm sure we'll have one out for the BMW at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Shameless plug. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's get started. Look at that. We are outside. What you doing, Jamie?
Spraying this water-based degreaser from Mother's.
Nice. Yeah, they're a big supporter of the Z. And so yeah, what we're doing right now is we're kind of getting the car somewhat degreased because we're going to pressure wash it. That way when we start cutting on it, we're not cutting through grease and all kinds of other stuff. Ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
So we pulled the motor today, and since we basically, there's nothing left to take off the car except for suspension. Everything else is gone, right? I mean, of course we have to cut some stuff out, but
yeah,
nut bolt wise, there's nothing.
Just one pesky one that we're gonna have to cut off.
Yeah, we'll have to get that. But other than that, everything that you could possibly take off is taken off except for subframe, suspension, wheels. So it rolls and steers. Today was a lot of work pulling that motor out.
It's tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Big boy.
Well, and we did some shortcuts. Most people would take like accessories off.
Us? We did shortcuts? You
No.
didn't tell me that.
No, we just straight up yanked that thing out. And then yeah, so that's all done, and we power washed it. So there's like every time we touch the car, we get a little dust trail. So now we've basically scrubbed it, power washed it, degreased it. So now we have kind of a blank canvas that we have to cut all apart. So, but at least we got like kind of like a baseline type thing. So I think we're in a good spot. I mean, I think next things we need to do is basically cut panels away that we don't need, and we have a E36 M3 donor car that we're going to be using all of the factory subframes, and we'll put better suspension on, but at least we can yeah, we'll modernize it with newer E46 M3 suspension, which is going to be super rad because 74 BMW 2002 suspension does not keep up with modern day Corvettes and Vipers and stuff like that, but an E46 M3 does. So yeah, so that's kind of our next step, is probably going to be start cutting stuff away and preparing to put E46 subframes and suspension on the car. And we're going to do our best to stay within unlimited rule book. So yeah, this is our piece of shit.